Christian Horner has been fired from Red Bull Racing. To his replacement, there is Lauren McKees and a new team principal as well for Racing Bull. This is a bit of news and also post-GP for sure of Silverstone. So let's start with a post-GP of Silverstone and then we will talk a bit about George Russell, Max Verstappen, Christian Horner and these latest news about Formula 1. We're going to start with a post-GP. So these are the top 15 drivers because these are the drivers that completed the race. I don't really want to talk about the drivers that retired because there is nothing a lot to say about them. That would be a loss of time. By the way, let's start with Yuki Tsunoda. Very disappointing weekend. His teammate did a pole position, finished P5 after also that spin. Yuki Tsunoda hasn't got the pace, can't drive this car. He is a bit the problem, but he's not. He is surely the second car of Red Bull that is undrivable for most of the drivers, you know. But Yuki did a bad weekend. Nothing really to say about, last driver to complete the race. So 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10. You choose. Actually, not an amazing race. Charles Leclerc, P14, my favorite driver. But this weekend was very, very messy. Very, very big, very, very bad weekend for Charles Leclerc. Probably one of the worst, if not the worst, race weekend he ever done in Ferrari, to be honest. Yeah, very, very, very disappointing. He had the car to fight for pole position, and same as Hamilton, they did a mistake. They did a mistake on the last corner. That was tricky. Also, Piastri did a mistake. So if Piastri did with that car, that is the McLaren, maybe Charles and Lewis can do. I think so, but Max and Norris didn't do that mistake. So yeah, starting also from qualifying. Not the best. Charles Leclerc was so angry with himself because he knew he could have been in front row at least. Maybe not pole position, but in front row for the Grand Prix. Then in these tricky conditions, so dry, wet, you don't know which tires you choose. Charles Leclerc is doing a very horrible job, to be honest, in the last couple of years. Yeah, he always choose the wrong tires, you know. He decided to try and pit for the slick tires. It's okay if you're P6, you're risking something, and okay, but Leclerc always do this type of mistakes, and so it's not acceptable, to be honest, anymore. Yeah, some mistakes as well into the gravels, went wide, and etc. Very, very bad weekend for Charles Leclerc, to be honest. 4 out of 10, even if he's my best driver, but 4 out of 10, very bad weekend for Charles, unfortunately. P13, Esteban Ocon, beaten by his teammate in the quali. His teammate was starting also behind because of the penalty, and he still finished that. So not the best weekend for Esteban Ocon. 4.5 out of 10. He really needs to improve. P12, Carlos Sainz with his Williams. Yeah, also the position. He did a pretty good quali. Actually beat his teammate in the actual quali, as we can see. Yeah, in the graphics, but then yeah, not the best. Not the best race, influenced a bit by the contact with the Charles Leclerc that was going wide into the gravel, right in the last part of the race. That influenced a bit. Yeah, so I would not really judge him a lot on this. He was doing a pretty good job from what I was seeing. So I would say 6 out of 10. He was doing his job. Beat his teammate in quali. Bit unlucky in the race in that way. So yeah. P11 for Oliver Bergman. What an amazing weekend from him, apart the stupid 10 grid position penalty, and that costs a lot, to be honest. Very good quality, amazing P8, but then under red flag of FP3, I think, he crashed into the pit lane because he was trying to approach the pit lane as fast as he possibly can, and this is a procedure that drivers do every time, right, but not under the red flag. And obviously with cold tires, with cold brakes, he spun, he crashed, 10 position grid penalty. Yeah, definitely a very stupid mistake from him that would allow him to start in P18, and so pretty good comeback after that, almost in the point. But yeah, that mistake is a bit unacceptable. 6.5 out of 10, but could have been an 8 out of 10 surely without this penalty. Because it could have been also in top 5, top 6, to be honest. So yeah, very big mistake again from Oliver Bergman that has like 8 penalty points, which is a lot. So yeah, needs to be very careful next times. George Russell, P10 for the Mercedes driver. The qualifying wasn't that bad. He basically did what he could with that car, beating his teammate by a bit, so it's okay. Then he decided to re-enter the lap 1 like Charles Leclerc did. I don't know if it was his decision or team decision. I think more his decision. And so that was a wrong decision, as we saw. Not the best in this way, George Russell. Then it recovered in some way up to P10, mistakes and etc. 5 out of 10, not the best weekend for George. P9 for Fernando Alonso. Very good quality, actually, very good quality. Then in the race, team strategy wasn't the real best, as it did with Stroll. With Stroll, they did an amazing strategy with Nando, not a lot. So he did what he could, actually, with that car. I think with a strategy that they gave to him, I would say 6.5 out of 10. He did his job. Still points for Aston Martin, which is not bad. Very good, Nando. P8, Alexander Albon, not the best quality, pretty good comeback in the race. He did what he could, again, with his car, 7 out of 10. Nothing really to say about his performance. I didn't see a lot by him in this race. I was really focused on the top 5 drivers, I would say. So yeah. P7, Lance Stroll. We will start in P17. Amazing strategy call by the team to put the soft after, so he recovered a lot, and then to re-put the intermediates at the best time possible. So very incredible, good strategy for the Aston Martin. 10 position recovered, P7, it was P3 at a certain point. Then the soft at the end, probably they degraded a bit too fast, and so that's why he dropped down all the way to P7. But very good performance by Lance Stroll. He's doing a pretty good season, apart from a few races. So very good, Lance. 8 out of 10 for Lance Stroll, to be honest. Very good. P6, Pierre Gasly. Amazing weekend from him as well. His team didn't even start the race. He was out in Q1. He went into obviously the Q3, so very good for the Alpine driver. Then a good race, managing a lot, almost took behind Max Verstappen, so very good. Very good for Pierre Gasly. 8 out of 10 for him as well. Very good. Max Verstappen, he was starting P1. What an amazing, incredible pole position he did. Then a perfect race. He did what he could with that car. Then he spun there after a safety car restart. Not the best, that is a mistake. That car was really hadn't got a lot of downforce, to be honest, so that's also why, but it's still a mistake from Max. Still did an amazing job this weekend, to be honest. To do that pole position in particular is stunning. The Red Bull team, and to be honest, mostly of the teams were expecting a more dry race, and not this so wet race, to be honest. And so that's why they tried with Max Verstappen to go with a very low downforce setup. It didn't pay because of the conditions, but I would say 7.5 out of 10 for Max Verstappen. This could have been like an 8.5, 9 out of 10 for sure. For Max, I would say maybe an 8 out of 10, sorry, for Max Verstappen, because that pole position was absolutely incredible. That mistake cost a lot, but okay. Lewis Hamilton, P4, one of his best weekend in Ferrari. But yeah, pretty good race until he had to catch out Hülkenberg. Actually, that was, to not gain time on Nico Hülkenberg with the kick Sauber client team is a bit crazy. Not the best here. Some mistakes from Hamilton in the last part of the race, so yeah, not ideal for the British driver. Still a good weekend, to be honest, with that car. Mistake in qualifying, as Charles did. Better drive in the actual race. Very good double overtake on Russell and Gasly, I think it was. Yeah. I would say 7.5 out of 10. But yeah, to not catch Hülkenberg, in the last part of the race, very bad. Nico Hülkenberg, 10 out of 10. First podium after 239 race starts. Oh my god, finally Nico Hülkenberg did a very good job. Starting P19 is incredible to think. Very good race from Nico. Gained some positions because of the retirements, yes. Because of some drivers that came to the pits, yes. But he took also the right decision when it mattered, and then the drive was spectacular to keep behind Hamilton at a safe gap. The last part of the race, that was absolutely phenomenal drive, sorry. Yeah, mega weekend from Nico Hülkenberg. Like, not mega weekend, mega race, because the qualifying went pretty bad from him. But in the race, absolutely stunning. I was so happy for him as a Ferrari fan. I was hoping Lewis wouldn't catch Nico Hülkenberg, because at this point, you know, Ferrari can't fight for anything really apart from the P2 in the actual championship, but I don't really care. I care about P1 and only that. So if we can't really fight for P1 in the Constructor Championship or in the drivers, I'd rather see Hülkenberg do the first podium that Lewis do his first podium with Ferrari. That wouldn't really matter to me, to be honest. P2 Oscar Piastri, pretty good weekend, pretty solid. That mistake under safety car, I don't know if it was a mistake or not. When, you know, in real time when I was watching the race, I said, okay, Piastri fault, it's fair to give him a penalty. Then I rewatched it and etc. And I don't know, to be honest, I don't really think he is a wrong thing he did. Russell did the same in Canada, but if we look at the data, Piastri braked like 2 times more than Russell did in Canada. Russell was on purpose in Canada, actually. Probably Piastri not here in Silverstone. The safety car had the lights off in Silverstone, had the light on in Canada, which is, you know, you can't really brake that much like Russell did in Canada, because the safety car had the lights on, but in Silverstone the safety car just had the lights off. So I don't think it's a really bad move from Piastri, you know. It's not really his fault, to be honest. Probably he braked a bit too much, that's why. But I'm with Piastri, to be honest. I don't think that deserved a penalty. Like, if that was a penalty, why not give him to George Russell, to be honest? Don't really understand. By the way, 8 out of 10, pretty solid, because I don't think he deserved that penalty, so yeah. Still that influences a bit, because it influences the win. I don't really think it's fault, so I would give him maybe a 9 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, you know. But yeah, 8 out of 10, because it took also a penalty. Pretty solid weekend, even if he had a bit less pace than Lando Norris. Lando Norris, 9 out of 10, to be honest. Not a bad weekend for him. He drove pretty good, not the best in qualifying, beat by his teammate and also bust Max Verstappen. In the race, he was the fastest, to be honest. We saw also, after the penalty was given to Piastri, Norris actually was catching Piastri. And so yeah, actually won because of the penalty of Piastri, but maybe also without the penalty he would have won, so I don't know. Still a bit of a bias, I think, in the penalties between British and no British drivers, my opinion, but okay. Let me know what you think in the comments, actually. Don't wanna really stay in this topic a lot, but yeah. By the way, home win, now he is like 5 or 7 points to Piastri in the championship, so really close. Championship fight is really going, you know, to be very close, and so hoping to see a very good battle in Belgium as well. By the way, this was all for the post-GP, but now let's talk a bit about the news. Obviously, Christian Horner, Max Verstappen to Mercedes. George Russell, what he will do? Let's discuss. So, Max Verstappen to Mercedes. I think it's really possible. You know, it seemed like Verstappen was okay to go there, and so now we only have to see what Mercedes will say about it. But now maybe that Christian Horner left Red Bull, Verstappen might want to remain in Red Bull Racing. Don't think so, but maybe, because Max didn't want to have Christian Horner anymore, and so I think that's why they kicked him. They fired Christian Horner with immediate effect, because I think if they didn't, Max would have surely signed with Mercedes. I still think Max has a really high opportunity of going to Mercedes, but I don't know. I think like it's a 40% Max will go to Mercedes, 60% Max will remain for Red Bull. Very close. Let me know what you think down in the comments, because it's pretty. But I think now with the really Christian Horner out, I think Verstappen maybe will try and stay one more year, see the project in 2026, and then maybe go. but I don't know if he can really wait, because the Mercedes will be very competitive. If Mercedes will be the best car in 2026, as it might be, you know, the Mercedes engines should be the best, and the Red Bull engines should be a bit far back, alright? So if Mercedes will be so fast that they will win the 2026 championship with George Russell, for example, why should they kick George Russell, that is the current world champion? Wouldn't make any sense. So I think Verstappen, if he wants to go to Mercedes, and I think he should go to Mercedes, he has to go now from 2026. So I think really Max wants to go. Let's see what Mercedes will do. If I was in Mercedes, I wouldn't really kick Antonelli, because new driver, he has a lot of potential for the future as well. I would kick Russell for sure. He hasn't renewed yet, so, and if I was Mercedes, why I shouldn't take Max Verstappen? Max Verstappen is the best driver probably right now in Formula 1. Why you shouldn't take him? That's basically what I think. So I think Max will go to Mercedes, to be honest, right now. But he can still stay to Red Bull. You know, there is a lot of controversy in this. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you liked this video. Thanks so much for watching as always. It's been a pleasure. Cheers.